Okay, to draw a model, it's pretty much the exact same thing as doing a primitive shape, only you can use it multiple times over and over again. So you need to actually make the model, and you can do this in the creation event of something. And since it only needs to happen once, and I have multiple blocks in my room, I'm not going to do this in the creation event on my block because it's unnecessary. We'll just do it in the creation event of the camera. Let's put another block of code there. And to start off your 3D model, you type in a variable, whatever you want to call it. It can be any name, it's just a variable. So shape, and then you say equals d3d model create. And what d3d model create does is it starts a model, and it has an index for this model, and each model you create it'll return a different index. So you say shape equals whatever that index is, so you can keep track of it. So then after that, it's just like we did before, only you add the word model into every one of the lines pretty much. So d3d model primitive begin, and the word model comes right after d3d and before the rest of the stuff. Unlike making normal shapes, there is no primitive begin texture. There's just d3d model primitive begin. Anyway, you type in the index, and that's what this first line was. That's why we made the variable shape. Shape holds the index of the object, which we got from d3d model create. So for the first one, you type in whatever you called it, and then the kind is, PR triangle list, PR, triangle strip, stuff like that. Alrighty. Then at the very end, you type in d3d model primitive end, and then the index of the model that you're ending. So shape, and then in between that is where you put all your vertices and stuff. So you can do d3d model and then vertex, and just like you would do a normal vertex, only you have to type in what you're adding this to. So that's pretty much the first thing you have to put in every one of these is the name of your model. So d3d model vertex, and then shape, then x, y, and z like you did before. And then like before, you can do vertex normal, vertex texture, vertex texture color, vertex color, vertex normal texture color, just all the different variations. But what you can also do with making your model is d3d model block, and then the index of your model you're creating, as always, and then you can draw a block like you would normally do. But what this does is this adds this block shape to your model. So instead of going through all the trouble of trying to figure out where all the vertices go, and you just need a block, then that's what that would be used for. So that makes it a little bit easier when they have these pre-made shapes you can add to your model, and you can add to it. Anyway, for this, since I'm making this, since I would be making this shape in the camera instead of the actual object that's drawing it, you can do what you'd have to do to actually draw it is normally you would do shape, or no, D3D, model, draw, and then this is what actually draws the model, and you type in the index shape where it's at, X, Y, Z, and then the texture ID. I think it's -1 if there is no texture. Anyway. But here, this variable shape, it's assuming you're talking about the object block, and it's going to say, you know, the variable shape doesn't exist because it's not made in the block. So what you have to type in is object player or camera, or whatever you call it. Mine's called object player, so dot shape. So what it does is it looks at that object, and then dot makes it look inside at all its variables, and then shape is one of the variables. Anyway, I would actually type in the vertices and make the model and draw it, but it's just going to be the same thing as before, and you get the point. And I'm lazy, so anyway, in my next tutorial I will be dissecting, well, it's not really a tutorial, but I will be dissecting the script Mosaic Light, which is a great script, not made by me, but by someone else, in which you can import .object files from other programs and put them into GameMaker. So instead of typing in all these vertices and getting very crude shapes, you can get something that looks pretty decent. But I'll just be explaining how the script works. So, anyway, until then, this is Samus Ridley signing out.